So let me start by first of all thanking all those participants and the organizers who have given time for such a topic and in fact for this initiative. Now let me start by saying everybody on this planet, if you ask them, do you know AI? They say yes. They say they know AI. Not sure there's some background noise. Are you able to hear me?
Ji, we can hear you.
Okay. So everybody on this planet, they will answer saying that they know AI. I mean, some of them will even go further and talk about it. Some of them even, you know, share their experiences, how AI is being implemented or AI has been helpful. But not everybody really understands AI, the purpose of it, because what we are seeing, what we are using, what we are tasting today is maybe a fraction of what artificial intelligence can do. And again, the topic today, we have chosen it in such a way that there are a lot of AI tools that are available, but whether all of them would add value to our life or will they bring any augmented practices for the human being is the question. Having AI is one thing, but getting productivity, efficiency, effectiveness out of it is a second thing. There are a lot of AI tools that are out there because that has been a revolution now. That has been a disruption, and especially after Gen AI. But what we will be focusing is that little bit understanding more about AI and its capabilities and how we can use pragmatic AI, which is nothing but practical use of AI in our businesses, in our daily lives, and how we can build contextual use cases. Because if AI is not used contextually, then we might not even require it. Because for general purpose AI, there are a lot of things that are already available. So this session is aimed at talking about in-depth use cases of pragmatic AI, as well as probably we might also touch going forward in other sessions on the responsible AI, because we cannot just build something out of the box. So we also need to be responsible in terms of fairness and sustainability and the other things. So for that, let's just understand, what is AI. So agenda for today is understanding AI, uh, pragmatic AI. We'll talk about that. And we'll also see how AI is getting adapted in the industry, because I strongly believe on facts and stats that are coming out of the research, whether whatever we are talking, whatever we are preaching, whether it is being adopted or not. And then AI and business applications we might or might not be able to cover in this session, but inshallah, if time permits, we will see those things also in the next sessions. Now let's start with understanding AI. I think everybody understands AI. AI's definition. It is an artificial intelligence, and it helps human being does several things. But whatever we see today, AI is just based on the trained model of it. It's not a artificial general intelligence. We need to understand that. We need to have the differentiation of that. AI algorithms, AI models are based on the training mechanism, supervised, unsupervised. There are a lot of different things. I'm not getting into that, but we need to understand that artificial general intelligence is actually aimed to perform or exceed the cognitive functions of human beings. Are we seeing that now? Absolutely not. I mean, we do not see the sense around a machine. We do not see the reaction of that. What we see is we see the answers being provided to us based on the data that it has learned. If it has not learned any data around that particular subject or around that particular query, it will not give you answer. And even today, the biggest challenge what we are facing from the Gen AI perspective is that if you ask certain questions after certain date, until when it has been trained, it will not be able to give you any information. But is it really the AI? Probably it is a generative AI, but it is not AGI, which is artificial general intelligence. So I wanted to just make that thing clear. We all are now clapping and talking good about AI, that we have AI, we must do this. But ultimately, the AGI is something that can change the world, that might even replace the jobs of human being. But what we have today, Gen AI, what we have today, certain of the other AI stuff, probably will not replace the human beings. It will only replace the repetitive tasks that a person was doing. So it does not have its own thinking, it does not have its own decision making. It can guide you. So that's an important thing that we need to understand, because there's a huge hype around AI. And again, I'm not belittling that. It's a disruption. I think Gen AI is one of the larger disruptions that has happened in the last decade, if we think about it. Now, then the other thing, other definition or other understanding is that it's the ability of the machines and computers or devices to perform tasks that would normally require human intelligence. Again, we are saying, oh, we have now magic, this can do a lot of things. It's absolutely not magic. It is predictions. It's predicting. Can it predict accurately 10 on 10? Probably not, probably yes, depending upon the data that it has been trained. And it is maths, it is science, it's a model. So why I'm bringing this thing is that I'm going to talk about pragmatic AI. That's the reason I would have to put down also the facts on the table, and also bust this myth that AI can do everything. The current AI I'm talking about can do everything. It can replace human beings. Absolutely not. We do not have to worry about that. And by the way, at the end of the day, if you look at it, AI is trying to help human beings. It's an augmentation of the production efficiency and effectiveness. And for whom this is being built? This is being built for humans only. And how it has been built? It has been built based on the human intelligence. It is us who have trained the machines. It's not the machines that have trained us. So if it is the machine that start training us with the common sense, with the decision making, probably, at that point in time, we'll have to be little bit worried and concerned about it, because it might take over from the human beings. But up until now, it is human beings who are actually training these machines to act like or simulate like human problem solving task. And again, it is purely based on prediction. And those who have studied probability, those who have studied the prediction, they know that prediction is something, it's, in simple words, it is guessing. Sometimes, maybe 99 times out of 100, it might guess rightly, but maybe there is a possibility of error. So the current AI that we are talking about has not reached that level which can replace the human beings. So I'm sure, I'm not demotivating anybody, but I had to bring this fact to the table. And again, what we have done, if you think from a philosophical perspective, first of all, human beings, we go there, we go and build the systems, then we train it, then to have the interface between human and a computer or a device or a machine, we had to develop again another language, natural language processing. So NLP is something that allows machines, devices, computers to understand, interpret, and communicate better with human being. And that's the NLP. And today, if you look at any of the Gen AI applications, what we are seeing, If all these applications do not support NLP, it will not be usable. That's the reason the prompts have been created. With the prompts, you can categorize what kind of query it is, and you can ask the questions in your natural language. And obviously, when we are talking about NLP or natural language processing, we are talking about all the languages, multiple languages, not just the language of English. But today, if you look at even the NLP's maturity in English, it has got better maturity than any other languages. There are one or two local languages around the world that it has been trained better, but still, can we ask questions in Urdu? Can we ask questions in Hindi? Does it have accuracy? Probably not. So you see, so for me, until and unless this whole cycle of what you are, your idea is, what you are developing it, how is it meeting the ends, or how is it serving the industry, how is it serving the humanity, if that loop is not 100% complete, then the adaption will be very, very less. And today we talk about all of this, but you would see, from the stats, how the adaption is. And again, whatever we are going to do as part of the pragmatic AI, we need to develop the systems, we need to develop the solutions, we need to develop the applications by keeping human at the center. Because ultimately, the AI or these models are going to be helping human beings. And we are missing that point in several cases. We develop certain things, then we say, wow, this is something that is really great. But if it is not human centered, and this term has been coined by several researchers and several universities, several research groups, that human centered AI is something that we all have to focus and develop on. And what is human centered AI? It refers to the development of artificial intelligence or any of the technologies of that prioritize human needs. And today, we use ChatGPT, we use several of the models just for the fun. Is it really helping the human needs? Probably yes, probably not. And it needs to prioritize human needs. It needs to prioritize the values and the capabilities. At the core of the design, at the core of the development, at the core of the operation. If it is not being done, then the AI application, the AI model, or the capabilities or the competencies that we are developing will be of no use. So that's why I have chosen this topic, because we sometimes blown away with these technologies, and then everybody starts chasing them. There's a lot of hype around that. Let's lot of buzz around that. Again, I'm not belittling it, but once we understand where we are, once we understand what the capabilities it has, once we understand what it can serve, once we understand, is it really helping humanity? Is it really built around human-centered approach? If we understand all of that, it will give us better perspective, better view of going forward. Hello? Abrar sir, am I audible?
जी मत
Okay, sorry. So human-centered AI is nothing but also a pragmatic AI. Now let's quickly look at, the evolution and adoption of AI. And this is again from Gartner. You can see I have taken it for Gartner because most of the times I look at McKinsey, Gartner, IBM. These are the researchers that have time, effort, that they can, invest time, effort, money into the research. Not everybody does that. So now if you look at from the budget perspectives, again, I'm talking about the organizations. I'm talking about uh, the real industry use cases. I'm talking about the businesses that would like to introduce AI or Gen AI, both of them. And why Gen AI in particular here? The reason is that that has been a disruption. That's why. Now, if you look at it, 25% of the organizations or the enterprises said that they are not increasing budget for AI next year. You can say that there is no early adoption in 25% of that. And then 75%, which is actually a very, very good number, they are increasing the budget for AI development, AI use case. And if you now look into the market, every day there are hundreds of AI applications that are being launched. And some of them that you do not see any use case, some of them you see a use case, some of them not at all required. In certain industries, AI is not required, such as your creativity, your design. You might not be able to use it. Definitely, AI has not surpassed the human intelligence in that. Any new innovation, AI is not required. Probably it might augment in doing some repetitive tasks, but it is not required. So that's why you can see that 75%, though they are saying it, let's just look at, what is the survey saying about the ML or AI adoption in 2024 and then Gen AI adoption in 2024. Now, from this survey that you can say that 34% have at least adapted ML or AI. And this is up until, I think, couple of months ago. So adopted already, and then 22% plan to adopt it in the next year, and then 44% intending, they are just planning to adopt. So these are the guys who always look at, okay, let them be successful and then we do it. But must we wait as a professional? Probably not. We will have to understand, we will have to learn, we will have to grow, we will have to evolve. But you can see also that's the industry adoption. And now Gen AI, and how many of you know about Gen AI? Everybody would say one or two words or the statements around Gen AI. You see what is the adoption? Only 9%. Why is that? Because there is a hype cycle, but why there is lower adoption? There are certain organizations or several organizations that have banned using Gen AI, generic generative AI that is being provided by somebody else. I know of several organizations that do not allow within their organizations to use Gen AI. That's why you can see that is a 9%. Why? Somebody, if would like to know why, the first thing is that the data security, transparency, because the moment you would like the Gen AI application to answer the queries around your organizations, you need to share your data. The moment you are sharing the data, the moment you are sharing the data, that data is actually being stored in the public environment. May I kindly request that whoever is speaking, they mute? Sorry about it. So Gen AI adoption is very, very poor. You can see only 9%. Again, I have also the stats around which industry has adapted more or not. But now there are people who are really threatened by Gen AI. They feel that, oh, they might not be able to get a job. They feel that, how can I apply for a job if I don't know the Gen AI? Guys, we do not have to worry about it. If you are applying for a designer, then designer skills are more important than anything else. If you are applying for an engineer, the engineering skills are more important than the Gen AI skills, because Gen AI is just an application that anybody can learn how to use it, when to use it, when not to use it is also important. These days, organizations are spending time in training when not to use Gen AI. And I will give you one example of it. One of the large organization, when this thing has happened last year, the CIO directed the entire IT team saying that, guys, we would like to utilize it and it should be able to answer every question that we have, every query that we have across all the user groups. Then immediately IT guys started taking all the data. In fact, they have taken the financial data, confidential data, design data, innovation data, all of that, they fed it into Gen AI. Now guess what happened? It had all the data. So there's no data privacy, even though it says that input and output, whatever you are giving belongs to you, but it is keeping a copy of it, which means all the financial data, all the design data, all the innovations that have been planned for the next few years, all of that has been fed. And immediately people were getting responses or the answers for those questions that they shouldn't have known. So we talk about data democratization, but this is not the data democratization. So Gen AI adoption is poor in that case. And that's why, because after that particular event, there were several other stories as well. Large organizations, they have strictly banned using the chat GPTs or whatever the Gen AI applications that are being hosted or provided by the big players. And that's why Gen AI adoption is very, very low, even though it is very popular. I think even kids know about chat GPT, but still, the adoption within the organizations is very low. And then 34%, they are planning to invest in that or adapt, and then in next year, and then the other ones, maybe in couple of years or never. They are not interested towards it. Why is this? I mean, if we think about it, again, it's a provocative thing. Why is it? Because Gen AI is providing answers for generic queries. But in our business, we need context. We would like to know specifically about our business. We need to know specifically about our industry. We need to help our users understand certain things with the help of conversational AI or the chatbots. In that case, you cannot use Gen AI that is being provided by others because it is not contextualized. It's a it's a generative AI based on the data and
राजेश पे तो मैं ये
document
भी देखूंगा।
that has been fed in. Let me quickly check the chat. I see, sir. Okay. So that's the reason the adoption is. And then the security is one, transparency is another one, privacy is another one. So all these are the things. Recently, I was in Europe, and are they using Gen AI? Absolutely lowest adoption in Europe because of the GDPR. They do not want to hear, they do not want to. So what does it mean? It means that if we really would like to utilize the Gen AI applications, you need to host it yourself if you are an organization that can afford to build your own model or that can afford to host your own model within your premises. But that comes at an expense. And it comes at really, really huge expense because you need GPUs, you need certain infrastructure for that, and that infrastructure everybody cannot afford. So either you lose the privacy, either you lose the security of your data, or you will have to invest high. That's the main reason Gen AI adoption has been less. Now the other one, what are the other AI technologies that have been adapted? Again, this is the survey from a different number of respondents. Previous survey is from a different number of respondents. That's why there is no correlation between the percentages. So out of 645 leaders, when we say leaders, those who have authority to make the decisions, call the shots, or make the decisions to adapt or not adapt AI, or invest or not, who have the authority to allocate budget. So those are the leaders when they answered. Now, if you look at the adoption of AI solutions deployed or in use today, as of today, that was, I think, uh, this was published in February. So generative AI, 29% of the respondents from that. Okay, it has nothing to do with the previous one. And then Machine learning, 28%, NLP, 27%, 25% is optimization techniques, graph techniques, 22, and rule-based systems, 22. Again, rule-based systems is also not 100% AI. It's predicting the outcome based on the rule. And then the graph techniques, this is more popular because of the visualization of it. Optimization techniques, okay, there are a lot of optimization techniques that AI or ML provides, and that's what it is. Um, to optimize the operations, to optimize the research, to optimize the customer service use cases, to optimize certain operations. Um, so those are the things, and to optimize certain trials, to optimize certain trainings, and all of those. And NLP, we have already spoken about it. So NLP adoption is 27. Why I'm bringing these stats? Two reasons. One is that we all should know where the world is going, where the adoption is, what is it that is getting popular, so that we can fine tune ourselves, we can train ourselves, we can upskill ourselves, we can guide others in that direction. Rather than if there is no traction for something, then we cannot guide somebody into the dark. So that's the reason. Generative AI, 29%. Though this is one of the largest one, you can see also machine learning and NLP are also just behind by 1% there. So out of the respondents of 640 plus, and it is not a survey of thousands of thousands. This is the survey, very, very specific survey of the leaders who can make the decisions on behalf of the enterprises. We look at that. Now, again, we can talk about, what is the machine learning things that we must learn now, because it's something that is going to stay all the time. Is generative AI going to stay? Yes, it is going to stay, but the use cases of generative AI cannot be adapted into the organizations or the enterprises because of the reasons that I have stated earlier. So where is it that we need to invest more and more? We need to invest into the machine learning. ML is here to stay. Even Gen AI is here to stay, but the adoption of it within the enterprises, because you are not working on your own. Now, somebody says that, yeah, I can get a drawing made by AI. Fine, but will you be able to use that for your clients' presentations? If it has to be an innovative or creativity, probably you might not be able to, because the client would easily know that this is something that is produced by Gen AI. But can it be used by the students? Can it be used by the kids? Yes. For fun, they can use it. For their productivity, they can use it. But is it not killing the cognitive functions of human being? Yes, it is killing. So you see, there is a plus and minus for that. And if we do not understand why certain technologies are being adapted by the enterprises, we'll not be able to invest our time and effort into that. I'm sure I'm making sense, because again, probably you might have heard from several people, or you might have read everything is wow factor, everything is big buzz, everything is hype. But I would like to keep all of us, our foot on the ground. That's why I'm talking from a pragmatic perspective, pragmatic AI perspective. So where is it that we need to invest? Machine learning is something that we need to developing the models, different models, solving real world challenges is something that we have to look at. Is generative AI solving all the real world challenges? Probably only certain percentage. It's not actually addressing all the real world challenges. And again, it is not latest up to date. That's why there will be several releases that would come out, because the events that has happened recently, you won't be able to get any answers for that. And again, there is a disadvantage of Gen AI. If a similar question is asked by 20 people, a similar answer is given, which means that everybody would have that generic answer. If a similar drawing or a subject is given to Gen AI to draw a picture, you might have similarities across all the answers. And do we really need that? No, we need distinction. So that's why adoption of Gen AI within the enterprises is low. It can be used, for certain generic general knowledge purposes, such as now earlier we used to use the search engines. Probably now we are using a lot of Copilot. Again, Copilot is also being trained again and again and again and again. I think this is maybe the third or the fourth attempt of giving the better results, trained on better models of it. But again, is it adding value wherein creativity or creative thinking is challenged? Probably not. And then NLPs, we need to invest lot of effort into NLPs, because if we are to see better communication between human beings and machines in near future, the only place is NLP at this point in time. There could be other technologies that might evolve, but NLP. Now, I also, when we interact with the general public as well, there are several people who do not understand or speak English. And if we as scientists, if we as data science engineers, if we as ML engineers, if we really would like to bring something to that humanity who does not understand English, probably we'll have to work on several different languages that are spoken, that are being widely used, so that computers can also answer their queries. Because if we don't do that, then we are not doing justice to the humanity. We are trying to create a barrier. It's not fair. That's why the responsible AI is actually, that is another topic that talks about the fairness, equality. We should actually give equal opportunities to everybody with every new technology. So I personally believe that ML and NLP are those subjects, are the domains where we as professionals need to invest time and effort in. Even those students that are actually learning now, they will have to focus on machine learning. There are several models that one can build, and NLPs. And let me also say something. Today, today, if you look at the universities, and that's also something that I would like to communicate probably via this forum, whoever is associated with the ed field, ed tech field, is that we need to change the syllabus of all the engineering disciplines where there is a high amount of evolution, higher evolution of technologies. We need to, because if you look at today, engineering students coming out of it, they call themselves computer science engineers, but their knowledge, their adoption of these terminologies, these technologies is poor or sometimes even zero. So we also need to have certain things in place as part of our education system. We have written to lot of education authorities to change the syllabus, but they are not. But if you now look at every country is talking about, yeah, we are investing so much into AI adoption. You cannot have the, improved AI adoption if you do not invest in changing the syllabus of the universities, because that's where the foundation is. Now let me go into the next one. Like I said, we do not have to worry about artificial intelligence. It is excellence. Not sure, not sure. Sorry, I was checking. So artificial intelligence, again, this is the code that I like, and I just slightly modified this code so that we all understand it. Artificial intelligence is excellence in extension of human intelligence. So it's a excellence in extension of human intelligence. Is it human intelligence? Probably we are not yet there. Now let us look at what are the biggest barriers preventing wider adoption of AI or ML within any organization. You see their skills shortage. That's the highest one. And that is the reason I really appreciate MFIRD, that they are advocating, they are being the ambassadors of empowering the community. 70% of the organizations are not able to adapt it because they do not have the right skills. They do not have the right data scientists. They do not have the right AI or ML engineers. It's a skill shortage. And this is where we need to invest. Do we have to go and invest into Gen AI now? Probably not. Probably I'm saying it too many times. The reason is that now people are rushing and trying to acquire the knowledge of Gen AI. To acquire the knowledge of Gen AI, we do not have to go and invest time, effort, money into it. We just need to use it. If at all we would like to build a newer model, if at all we would like to build a model that can complement and supplement the Gen AI, yes, that's the right kind of investment. And how many people are offering courses to learn Gen AI or Chat GPT? You would see hundreds of courses. You don't need it. I mean, if you have a phone wherein you can install the Copilot, where you can install Chat GPT app, then you would be able to learn yourself, those who can understand English. So you see, what is the biggest thing? Shortage of the skills. And that's the reason we encourage people to invest into learning ML and AI from the core. And then data quality and bias concern. This is also really a huge concern. And we ourselves have faced this kind of concern in terms of providing the applications to large enterprises. If your data, again, AI or ML, whatever it is based on the data that is provided, it is based on the data that is available. And if the data quality is not right, which is the foundation, then you would not get the right responses, right results, right outcome. And it will be false positives in several cases. And that's why it's a bias concern. And then if you ask now the organizations, what's the reason you are not adapting it? I do not see any ROI in it. Why? Because it is not contextual. And then the other thing is very valid is that regulatory compliances. I do not think that any country has implemented 100% regulatory things. There's no regulatory policy that has been implemented to govern AI, because if you do not govern AI, then it can evade the privacy, it can evade the security, it can evade lot of things. So regulatory things are also coming up. Even India is busy drafting it. It has released a draft for, I'm not sure whether it was for public or for a specific group of people, but everybody is now trying to bring in a regulatory compliances into it. And there are certain countries who have advanced and they have established that. But there are no ethics that have been established. There are no rules or policies that have been established as of now. So that is the reason also that the adoption is not easy. It's becoming a barrier. And then whatever the things that are available applications, they are difficulty in integrating with existing customers because of the platforms, because they are not service oriented architectures, because their infrastructure or the technologies that they are using, they are not integrated. So this is the reality of the world, ladies and gentlemen. And if we don't understand that and jump onto the bandwagon of it, we might not be able to achieve what we want to achieve. That does not mean that we should not learn. We should absolutely learn AI, but learn and focus in such a way that you become an expert there. For a user to learn it now, I think Copilot, ChatGPT is more than enough, because those are the two great applications that are available for your general purpose. But can you use them As part of your organizations? Probably not, because not many organizations are encouraging it. Now, what are the different trends that we see, as part of the data analytics? Because at the end of the day, AI is built around data. Accelerated AI investment, we have seen that 75% they're investing it. But is it the right investment? Again, if you are a leader, or if you are a stakeholder, if you are an influencer and within an organization, please stop this investment, because people are investing it heavily into it without knowing the ROI of it. And that's the reason we need to bring in the context, we need to bring in the pragmatic AI in practice. And is it going to continue? Absolutely, it is going to continue, because it has also become a show off kind of thing, that okay, if I'm not investing in AI, then I'm not modern. And AI is future, there's no doubt about that. But the AI that is future that we are talking about, it is not what it is now. And data centric AI is another one that I really talk a lot about that, because if your AI is not data centric, then your decision making is going to be poor, and it is going to give you biased results. And for that, we need data governance. For that, we need data quality. For that, we need data privacy policies. All these things we need. And if we really want the AI systems or the solutions or applications to give us right decision making, right pointers, right guidance, then it has to be data centric. And then the pragmatic AI, like what we are talking about. And this was actually my post on LinkedIn on top trends in data analytics with regards to AI. And pragmatic AI, when it comes, it will definitely change the world. It will definitely add value. It will definitely bring in better ROI. And there are, like I said, there are many AI tools out there that our businesses doesn't need. And we need to differentiate that. We need to bring in that. And ethics, look out for those ones that have ethical practices. And that's what is the message today. And I would like to continue this, if permitted. Inshallah, in the next sessions we will talk more about it. But today I wanted to establish the facts and stats on the table, and how and where we must invest our time and effort going forward. Thank you. I'm open for questions. We are left with about 12 minutes.
Jazakallah, Dr. Imad Syed. It was really very eye-opening and very useful session. MashaAllah. So from the audience, you can unmute yourself and ask question or any discussion that you want to have with Dr. Imad. Inshallah. So do we have any questions from the audience?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, please go ahead.
My question was, what is the meaning of pragmatic AI?
Yeah. Pragmatic AI is the practical AI, wherein you are solving the real world challenges or the problems. Is now ChatGPT solving the real world challenges? Probably
No.
in many cases not. Is it contextual? Is it true to your organization's needs? Probably not. That's what is pragmatic AI. Probably, Saif Saab, I might have, what do you say, reset everybody's thinking around AI. I does not mean to discourage anybody, but we also need to look at where we stand in the market from a facts and stats perspective. That's the reason I had to bring in that. Again, I'm not discouraging anybody, whoever would like to learn even Gen AI, but I feel that learning Gen AI should not be an objective. Learning the ML and NLP and those models would be better.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Imad Syed.
Walaikum salam.
Relating to the statement as everybody is giving that uh, AI is still not comparatively with the human abilities. Although the technologies have made an advanced stages, still AI is unable to cover up the human abilities. Why is it like that?
Yeah, because if you now look at 10 years ago, it was not even in this advanced stage because of the infrastructure, because of the technologies those were available at that point in time. And I believe that it would take probably another decade or so for us to see the artificial general intelligence, which will mimic, human being. When I say mimic, it will have even cognitive functions. It would be able to do that. It would be able to sense. It would be able to react. It would be able to have emotions around that. It would be able to make smarter decisions. And we are not yet there because we do not have yet those models, as well as the capabilities are not being developed. But that's coming. Probably it will take, I personally feel that it would take another decade or so for us to see the real AGI, artificial general intelligence. And also, let me also say that we do not, why Gen AI is successful now because of the data that it has. 10, 15 years ago, we didn't have the data. The data was not digitized. And if you do not have the digitized data, how can you actually train any machine? So it is an evolution. The same thing goes with the big data as well. We have been talking about big data for nearly 1.5 decade, but do we see thousands of use cases in production of big data? No, because there's no big data. There's no data. People are generating synthetic data to bring in the decision making. Even now as well, Gen AI, yes, though it is a great, great revolution, it's something that everybody can use it, but is it the ultimate artificial intelligence? Absolutely not. It is probably an interim. So it's the time and the technologies and the evolution. And people are working on AGI. It's up. People are working on AGI.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Another question that I may have is like everybody, in fact, how can the Ummah can get into this concept and there is no clear roadmap still for fresh graduates or even to the experienced developers. It's so difficult for them to actually take a decision to enter into the path of AI. Is there any specific roadmap that can be given to us, if not today, maybe next time or whenever it is ready, like as a graphical presentation, something, so that it becomes much easier for for all of us to follow. Yeah.
Yeah, I will try. I will try, inshallah, in near future. But now, if you let me answer this in a different way or a better way, that not everybody will become AI or ML scientists. Not everybody will become, AI or ML engineers. So we will have to also differentiate what kind of role that we are, objectively seeking to perform in near future. And depending upon that, there will be roadmaps. If somebody would like to become a data engineer, yes, there is a roadmap for that. How do you evolve into that particular role? If it is ML, how would you evolve into that? Today, if you ask me, whoever would like to become the professionals in this domain, AI domain, they need to learn the courses of ML, NLP, and then anything around that, because that's going to stay for longer term. And ML is definitely going to stay because we will be training the machines again and again and again. NLP is because we need a lot more objectivity in terms of different languages. That's why NLP. So however, if you would like to just use it, I mean, there are applications that are easily available on that can be installed on your smartphones, such as I said, Copilot. Copilot is very popular, and also ChatGPT is also there, and there are others as well, but these are the two that somebody can use it for their general purposes, performing certain tasks, general tasks. Again, I'm not talking about the enterprise kind of tasks, because not all the enterprises would allow that, but they would be able to do that. So I don't think that users would need a lot more roadmaps and guidance in that. Why? Because I will always go back to this. When the social media was introduced, a lot of people who were above 40, 50, 60, they said that we will not be able to use the social media. But if you now look at even the grannies, they are using the WhatsApp, they are using the social media, effectively, as long as it is supported, uh, by from their languages, they are able to use it. And how did they adapted it? Because the technology has become so intuitive that you could easily adapt that. And I'm sure, AGI would also become, easy. But if you would like to invest in building something, become an engineer or scientist, yes, there can be definitely the roadmaps.
Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Imad sir. Thank you so much.
Hi, this is Nayaz Ahmed. Dr. Sab, initially, I would like to thank you for bringing out the harsh reality about this. I see a lot of people just jumping into AI, and you brought it right over there. That's very good. Thank you very much for your speech. My question to you is, right now I am moving from a role of data analytics into data and AI lead role. So I would like to know which are those authentic references where we can look forward, where we can understand how to we architect and design solutions at enterprise levels for AI. Are there any latest uptrends and technologies where we can look forward for? For instance, now Snowflake is coming in with Cortex and these kind of new technologies. They have a new Arctic like Llama. So are there any authentic references where we can look forward for the upcoming technologies in AI? Thank you.
Thanks for the question. It is very difficult for us to give you that. The reason for that is today, probably I might tell you one or two, but tomorrow new stuff is coming. And believe me, every minute there are hundreds of AI or ML models that are being developed. But what I suggest is, if you now look at whoever is designing and developing this core, LLM models or any of the cognitive models, we need to first of all go into the research and look into it. And if you have any specific questions, please connect with me. Then I would be able to give you couple of pointers. But in general, answering that, what is best and what is not, probably it might not be a right answer. It would be a biased answer. So, I'm part of this MFIRD. You can tag me and ask me the question, then I will take one-on-one with you, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much.
Ahmed sir, I have one question here. Last question. I would request, please introduce yourself so that Dr. Imad has a background also. He can. Yeah, please go ahead.
Are there any further questions?
Someone was trying to ask a question.
Yeah, I saw someone was trying to ask, but didn't come through.
Dr. Imad Syed, you referred about changes in the syllabus.
Yeah.
Tell the clock. Upcoming students. So, friends, for that, or would you like to take some webinar? I think that's a big topic to discuss.
Yeah. I think, Sarsaf, I'll connect with you. Your voice is slightly breaking, so I could not understand that query.
Okay, we'll connect, inshallah.
Yeah.
Ahmed sir, can you hear me? I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. So this is my third year into entrepreneurship. I'm running a very small, software company, and off late I've been thinking into jumping into AI and ML. So my question is both in terms of the problem statement and the solution. So for a entrepreneur, what problems do we have in the society or in the market that we can solve using AI and ML, and how would we solve it? I'm sorry, I'm asking both the the problem statement and as well as the solution. If you could oblige, please. Thank you.
Probably I can give you an example of it. Is that if we are really trying to solve a problem, real world problem. Again, I'm not talking about the problem of only a small category or a small community rather than a big problem. There are several problems in terms of it. And again, my approach would be that what is the industry that we are in, or that is what is the industry where our expertise is, and then within that particular industry, what are the use cases that are already developed? Because many a times what I'm seeing, and people are coming to me saying that I'm building this app, AI kind of use case, I'm trying to solve this, but there are already hundreds of them that are being already released and used in the market. I do not want anybody to invest into any of it, because again, we all have got limited budget, limited resources, all of that. So please study the market, what it is looking at, and the best sources of research is McKinsey. There are also apps of McKinsey that you can, and Gartner research is another one. And then there are other research. So look at the use cases that are already available and don't touch those use cases unless you feel that your solution is better than them. Don't jump into that. And there are thousands of them, and even universities are also listing down on their websites what are the use cases that they are looking at and what kind of internship they are looking at. So those are the use cases that we need to look at. I will not be able to point out a specific one because then it would be biased, but I personally feel that look at the problem statement that are being already published as part of the research. Now, when it comes to the insurance and banking, already a lot of use cases have been implemented. When it comes to cyber security, lot of use cases have been implemented. So please don't go into those if you do not have a unique solution that actually outreaches all the other solutions. So there are certain industries that you can easily go into, but those industries have got bigger challenges. So I personally go from a path of looking at the facts, looking at the stats, what is the research that is published, and then you invest your time and effort into. I'm sure I'm not giving you only one specific use case there, but I'm trying to give you a guidance so that you can really find the right use case.
Jazakallah, sir. Jazakallah. At least I got the idea. So thanks a lot.
So if there are no further questions, thank you very much. Thanks, Saif Saab and MFIRD for organizing this. And inshallah, we'll connect soon. Inshallah.
Yeah, Jazakumullah khair, Dr. Imad Syed. It was really great session, lots of learning. And thanks everyone for joining. And inshallah, we'll have further sessions down the line. So thanks everyone. So with this, we close this session. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.